Therefore, while the promise of entering into His rest still stands, let us fear lest any of you be deemed to have come short of it. That's a terrifying thought, to be told on the day of judgment, depart from me. For we have had good news preached to us, even as they did. But the word which was heard did not benefit them, not being mixed with faith in those that heard it. It was mixed with condemnation. For we who believe are entering into rest. That's what we're doing. You know, we're on our way to rest. We who believe are entering into rest. As He said, so I swore in my wrath if they ever enter into my rest. Although His works were finished from the foundation of the world, it wasn't like God was looking forward to resting. He's been resting a long time. It's His rest that we want to get into. And we get into it when we finish with our works. Spiritually, right here in this life, and after this life, the whole thing. For He spoke in a certain place about the seventh day in this way, and God rested on the seventh day from all His works. And again, in this place, they shall never enter into my rest. Then, inasmuch as it remains for some to enter into it, and those who first heard the gospel did not enter in because of disobedience, once more He specifies a certain day, today, saying through David, after so long a time. What do you mean? That means after so long in the wilderness, after the wilderness was so long past, God's still saying today, still talking to His people today. So He specifies a certain day, today, saying through David, after so long a time, as has already been said, today, if you hear His voice, do not harden your hearts. And the Spirit is still saying that because of verse 8. The rest was not Canaan's land. If Joshua had given them rest, God would not later have spoken of another day. Therefore, there remains a Sabbath rest for the people of God. We hadn't made it yet. We're not home yet, children. For he who has entered into his rest has himself also ceased from his works, just as God ceased from his. We still have work to do. Uncle Joe, my father, Preacher Clark, those old saints, they've all entered into their rest. We haven't. Let's labor while it's today. Let us then make every effort to enter into that rest, lest anyone fall after the same pattern of disobedience. For the Word of God is alive. So God is still saying today because He's still talking. The Word of God is alive and powerful and sharper than any double-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing of soul and spirit and of joints and marrow, and is able to judge the thoughts and intents of the heart. God knows what you intend. Let's approach Him boldly. Hallelujah. And there is no creature hidden in His sight, no created thing, nothing. All things are naked and exposed to the eyes of Him to whom we must give our account. Having therefore a great high priest who has passed through the heavens. Jesus didn't just go into heaven, he passed through them. He's been exalted, Paul said, above the heavens. He's somewhere heaven doesn't even know about. Jesus, the Son of God, let us hold fast our confession. For we do not have a high priest who cannot be touched by our weaknesses, but one who has been tempted in every way that we are, yet without sin. Let us then boldly draw near to the throne of grace, that we may receive mercy if we need forgiveness, and find grace to help if we want something from God. In time of need, He'll give it.
Yes, He does.
We've got somebody on our side in heaven.
Yeah. Big. 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 Come on.